Welcome. This is our first class on optimizing ribcage mobilization, reducing tension in the pelvic floor, and helping to ultimately connect the diaphragm with the pelvic floor. What you'll need today is a ball. If you have a Pilates ball, that's great, but you can use a yoga block or a pillow. We're going to be using a lacrosse ball, a pillow, and a yoga block. So we're going to first start out on our backs. I want you to come onto your back, make sure that your head is supported. And you're just gonna bend your knees, and I want you to lift your shirt and lower your pants here. We're gonna start with some myofascial release of the abdominals. So you're gonna take your hands and we're gonna do a technique called skin rolling. And you're gonna start just above the pubic bone, and you're gonna start to roll that tissue on your abdomen, just like you're kneading bread. I love this technique for helping to mobilize the fascia, reduce tension in the abdomen. You can pick up tissue and hold it, and you can shift it down, holding for a minute, shifting up, left and right. You're just getting intuitive about it. What feels good? You can go more deep, more superficial, working from side to side. Don't forget your obliques. I love getting right over the umbilical, almost said the umbilical cord, the umbilicus, the belly button, and you're shifting that belly button back and forth. We have so many important lymphatics that run through this area, so it can really help with lymphatic drainage, circulation, proper abdominal contractions. And again, just moving up the abdomen, you're finding those sticky spots. And wherever feels tender, whatever feels like it doesn't want to pick up from your hands, those are areas you're going to need to spend a little bit more time on. I am a chronic ab gripper, so I'm going to have a lot of tension up at these lower ribs. I'm just taking a few minutes here, connecting with your abdomen. This can help reduce back pain, hip pain, tailbone pain, prolapsing, leaking, all the things. So we're really going after any of that tension. So now let's get underneath the diaphragm. You're going to take your fingers and you're going to hook it underneath your rib cage. You can start in towards the sternum and really work your way out. You should be able to get some fingertips underneath the ribs. And if you can't, that's an indication that you might need more love. So if you find an area, you can pause and breathe. Taking extra time on those tender spots. You can even do swipe down techniques. Never feels good, but for today, just going to do some abdominal massage. Open up our rib cage. Take 2 more breaths. Don't forget about that area. It's called the xiphoid process right underneath the sternum. That tends to get really tight and tender, especially when we're not using the proper abdominal contraction techniques. We call that coordination. Awesome. Okay, so we can pull up your pants, lower your shirt, and what we're going to do is grab your Pilates ball. So what we're going to work on is opening up the rib cage from side to side. Remember, your diaphragm is 360 degrees, and when you inhale, it drops and lowers. So when you are contracted in the rib cage, specifically in the sides and the back, then you can get tension of the pelvic floor and inability to fully contract, tailbone pain, back pain, all sorts of issues. Prolapse is a big one, leaking. It just increases tension down on the pelvic floor. And it can also create that mom pooch that we all want to get rid of. So find your Pilates ball, your yoga mat, and your yoga block or a towel, and you're going to place it right underneath the middle of your ribs here. Come down to a pillow, and I want you to bring a block right in between your knees. This is going to help to keep your hips stabilized and square. And then for right now, I want you to bring your hand to the side of your ribs. And I want you to settle in here. And I want you to take an inhale into your hand and exhale. We're going to take 5 breaths here. You should feel the ribs lifting and expanding into your hands. And if you want to add a little more, reach that top arm forward. You can place your fingertips on the ground and still continue to breathe into your side ribs, but maybe even into your shoulder blades a little bit. Great job. So take 5 breaths on there. You're going to remove the ball and we're going to do an exercise called the open book. This is going to help to mobilize your thoracic spine. So you're going to bring both hands out in front. You're going to inhale and exhale and open your arm up towards the other way, like you're opening a page. Now, big things to note here. You're going to want to keep your hips square. And I like to tuck my knees up a little bit more to 90 degrees. That helps to tuck the pelvis under so we're not falling into that anterior pelvic tilt. And if you're really just dumping into your lower back and falling all the way over, bring your hand to your chest, and then you can start to open up just by using that hand. We're going to do that 5 times through. Find what works best for you, but you should be feeling this in your thoracic spine. And on that last one, let's stay open. Squeeze that block just gently, just to keep your hips in line and square. You should feel this in your ribs, in your thoracic spine, your middle back, your chest. Awesome. Now let's flip to the other side. And I'm going to shoot it from the back. That way you can see that angle as well. Again, grab your yoga block, grab your ball, place that ball right underneath your middle ribs. Bring your legs up to 90 degrees like you're sitting in a chair. Place it in between your knees and then bring hands to ribs, or you can reach that hand out in front. Reaching that hand out in front, it creates a hugging of the scapula along the rib cage, which helps to not only activate a muscle called the serratus anterior that really helps to improve stability in our body and our shoulders, but it also can help you to improve breathing into the back body as well. A lot of us think, some of us think, that we're just supposed to breathe into our bellies. But we really want to improve breathing into our upper backs, into our lower ribs, into our side ribs, and into our bellies as well. It's not wrong to breathe into your chest. We just don't want to optimize that breathing route first, right? We want to get lateral expansion, back expansion of the ribs, middle back in between the shoulder blades, and then feel that sternum lifting. Awesome. Now bring your hands out in front of you like we're doing that open book. Remove your ball. That will be helpful. And start to open up like an open book. Again, you can bring your arm out to the side, or you can bring that hand onto the chest. That creates a little bit of a different dynamic to see if you can feel it more into the ribs. Notice if you're gripping the pelvic floor. Two more. And on that last one, I'm going to have you hold it and just breathe. One more breath. Awesome. Good job. So now we're going to remove the block and we're going to come up. Now, if the next position that we're going to do is we're going to focus on back body breathing. If this does not feel good to you on the block, we can do this from a chair, or you can actually move to child's pose. So I'm going to sit on a block. And what we're going to do is bend the knees. And if you are pregnant, of course, you can widen out the knees more and you can hug a pillow. That can feel really nice as well. But I kind of want to create the best you can, that turtle shell. And we're creating a natural hug here. And I don't want you to crunch your neck all the way down. I want you to keep it lifted just slightly so we can open up the airways. But what I want you to feel is that nice breath through your back body. So I'm going to come at an angle here. I want you to breathe into these back ribs, and you can even breathe into your shoulder blades. Feels so good. We don't ever get breath to this area. If you're one of those people that likes to live in an anterior pelvic tilt where your pelvis is tipping forward, which if you've been pregnant, our bodies have all gone there, we can get a lot of tightness in our lower backs, our sacrum, our pelvic floor, our hips. And again, issues that come with that is numbness in the pelvis, pain with intercourse. You can have prolapse, leaking, tailbone pain, all the above. Now you want to do this back, this movement daily. Like doing it daily for a month to 6 weeks can really dramatically improve the results that you're looking for. Two more breaths. Just find that melt on the exhale. Awesome. Okay, so now I want you to grab your lacrosse ball and we are going to do a little footwork, okay? So our feet are directly connected to our pelvic floor and we just forget about our feet. We shove them in shoes. So what I want you to do, get a lacrosse ball, tennis ball, golf ball, and I want you to start rolling out the fascia on the bottom of your feet, and you're going to roll from your heel to the toes or the base of the foot. You're going to again, you're just searching for all the different areas, rolling the inside of the foot, rolling the outside of the foot. It feels so good. Like, how often do we just forget about our feet? But as our feet lose the ability to spread the toes, we lose stability and we start to get this overpronation, or we get a really rigid, tight foot. And then that creates tension up our pelvic floor. It puts more tension in the lower back, and then it just moves all the way up the chain. All right, perfect. Let's do the other foot if you haven't already. And we're just spending, 3 to 5 breaths here. You can always pause the video and do more of any of these exercises. I encourage you to. This is intuitive movement, and I really want to encourage you to find what works best for you. All right. All right, so we're going to come back down. We're going to still work on the toes, I want you to take your fingers and I want you to interlace them in between your toes, like you're holding your foot's hand, ultimately. Awesome. So then you're going to take your other hand on top, and I want you to kind of feel like you're wringing out a towel a little bit, where you're taking the midfoot and rolling it in, and you're taking the outer foot and rotating it out. We're just kind of creating some motion in that forefoot and the midfoot and some disassociation. When you walk, you should be able to push through that big toe. And if you don't have the mobility in your feet, the mobility in your big toes, and the stability, then we are going to compensate by clenching our glutes, clenching our upper abs, pushing our hips forward. There's so many compensatory patterns. Awesome. Now go over to the other side again. Spend more time on this on your own. If you're doing your left foot, you can interlace with the right hand with your toes. Then you take your left hand around the midfoot, and again, you're just wringing out the tissue. You can even massage the bottom of your foot. I like to go backwards and forwards with the toes, around in circles. Just feel the tightness and becoming aware, ultimately, of how much tension we hold in our feet. Okay, all right, we're getting to the end of the video and we're gonna move to a little bit of stability, okay? So what I wanna work on is actually strengthening our hamstrings. I'll try to show this from two different angles, but what we're gonna do is when we have underactive hamstrings, when they're not firing correctly, we can easily fall into that anterior pelvic tilt. So the hamstrings come and attach to this bone called the ischial tube. A lot of people know this as the sit bone. So when it's working properly, it anchors the pelvis down into a neutral pelvis. But especially if we've been pregnant, C-sections, any trauma, we start to lose stability of our lower abs and we create too much length of our hamstrings. So when you go down into a forward fold, it's like, oh, I always feel so tight. But really, it can actually be that they're weak. So if you're falling into an anterior pelvic tilt, that weakens the hamstrings. So we're going to create some stability with the hamstrings to help bring that pelvis back into neutral. So we're going to lay onto our backs, find a wall, a chair, a couch. This is all good to do. And you're going to bring your legs up to 90 degrees. Grab your ball if you haven't already. And again, I want your legs like almost if you're sitting in a chair, like that shape. We're going to bring the ball in between our legs. Now, what you're going to do with your feet, they're not actually going to move, but I want you to create a drag that then lifts the lower hips off of the mat. And again, what those hamstrings should do if they're activated is that you should feel a natural scoop in your belly. So again, we want to create a little bit of rounding here. And so you should reach back, feel your hamstrings. You should feel them activated. I don't want you clenching from your lower butt, your tailbone, and I want you to feel up front. Do you feel your TFLs, your hip flexors, your quads? If any of that is turned on, wiggle it out. And I really want you to think about gliding down versus pushing into the wall. Pushing into the wall will create a lot of quad activation. And then I just want you to find breath here. 3 breaths. If you're feeling like advancing a little bit, you can reach your palms up to the ceiling. Breathe into the space between your shoulder blades. And exhale. Creating that gentle drag. You're holding this position. You're not moving up and down yet. That's a more advanced move. You guys take one more breath. I'm going to show this from the side. So as you lift up, what I want you to see here, without me going and moving the camera, is that you're creating some rounding of your lower abdominals. That scoop is what we're looking for. This helps to lengthen the back body and improve your ability, excuse me, for your abdominals to turn on. So again, one more breath. And exhale. Awesome. Come on down. All right, one last exercise. Good job, guys. You're going to get your pillow and we're going to come in more of a reclined position. If you have two blocks, that's great, but you can also just use your block and your pillow if you want to grab a towel for extra support. But we're going to come into a reclined position where you bring your knees out to the side. Yes, perfect. Awesome. This is a restorative move. You're going to bring your hands to your ribs. And actually, I want to change that. Let's bring one hand to your chest and one hand to your belly. I want you to naturally take a few breaths. And feel just where your breath is going. Notice, is it shallow? Is it going more into your shoulders or your upper hand? Or when you take an inhale, are you feeling your breath move into your pelvic floor? You should really feel more of your lower hand moving right now versus your upper hand. And again, it's not wrong to breathe into the sternum. What we don't want is that all of our air moves up into our shoulders and that this is the only thing moving is our chest. All right, and bring your hands to your side. And inhale into your hands and feel that nice lateral expansion of your ribs. If your thumbs are wrapping around the back, you can even feel the air moving into the back ribs. Two more breaths here. Fully melting into the mat, feeling your breath, feeling the creation of space. And I know I said this was the last one, but I want to do one more. So grab your block, place it underneath your pelvis. Okay. And then I want you to bring your legs into your chest. And if this is causing pain or in the hip, you don't have to bring them as far in, but you can come into kind of this modified happy baby. You can point or flex the feet. I just want you to find relaxation here. But what I want you to find is mobility in your tailbone. I want you on your inhales to feel the expansion of your pelvic floor. A lot of times when we are taking inhales and exhales, we're not actually getting it into, and I'm going to scoot down just a little bit, we're not actually getting it into the pelvis. So let's just take 3 to 5 breaths here. We can go along with our days. You can feel that breath expanding into your back, into your tailbone. One more. Slowly lower the legs down, lift up the hips, roll to your side, press yourself up. You should be so proud of yourself for finishing this class. Again, this class is all about reducing tension in our bodies, improving the connection of our diaphragms with our pelvic floors, mobilizing the ribs, which can really decrease so many symptoms postpartum, in pregnancy, and really at any stage of our lives. So, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Dr. Beth, and I look forward to spending more time with you in the future.